Hello students. In the previous video we have seen the monohybrid cross. We have seen that in case of monohybrid only one character is crossed together and then to get the hybrid. Okay. Now today in case of dihybrid we will see the two breeds. Okay. Dihybrid. See this. Hybrid means again intermixing. And the meaning of di is two. Now what is two? Two traits. So we can say that it is the intermixing of two traits, two characters. Clear? That is dihybrid cross. Now what the Mendel has done? Mendel has taken color of seed, okay, and shape of seed. This is the two trait, na? Color of the seed is one trait and shape of the seed. Now, color of the seed consists of two parts. One is yellow color of the seed and next is after yellow green color is the green color. Now, yellow color seed and the green color seed. Okay. Out of the yellow and green, the yellow color is dominant. Okay. Now this is represented by capital Y. I told you that whatever is the dominant, that will be represented by the capital letter. And the same letter in small will be written for the recessive. Now, green is not the dominant, green is recessive. So, it will be represented by small y. Understood? I think so this thing is clear. It is a gene because we are discussing about the gene. Genes are responsible for the transmission of characters. So, if the color of the seed is yellow and we know that, or Mendel has find out that is yellow is the dominant and green is the recessive. So this is one character. Next character is shape of the seed. Now shape was round and round is the dominant shape. Another shape is wrinkle and wrinkle is the recessive shape. Okay. So round is represented by capital R and wrinkle is represented by small r and small r. Clear? So what Mendel has taken? He took the two traits. Okay. Now what he has done? See, suppose this is the plant and this plant consists of round seed in the pod. Okay. Now this round seed is yellow in color. Then he took one more plant and in that plant, if this is the pod, then this pod consists of wrinkle seed and the color of the wrinkle seed was green, written by the small y. Understood? He has taken this type of plant. It means on one plant, he saw the two special characters. Now, how to write their gene? See, how to write? For dominant, the genes are round and yellow. Okay. And for recessive, the genes are wrinkle and green. This is the plant. Now suppose this is the male plant and this is the female plant. Clear? How to make their gametes now? Okay, I told you that gametes are always haploid in number. So gametes will be definitely half. But how half? Half round and yellow will come to one side and half round and yellow will form the other because haploid. So gametes will be capital R, capital Y. Again, capital R, capital Y. This can cross with this and this. This R can cross with this Y. this R can cross with this and this R can cross with this to make the gametes. Don't get confused here. Now the gametes will be haploid. So one trait will be of the round and one trait will be of the yellow. Understood? And it will form the 4 because this R will react with this and with this. Yesterday we have seen this. And this R with this and with this. But for the sake of convenience, I am writing only 2 because all 4 are same. The same with this. This small r and this small y will make one gamete. Again, this small r and this small y will make one more gamete. This will make one more and this will make one more. But for the sake of convenience, we are writing only 2. Now see what will happen if we will go for the F1 generation. Once again, students, you see. This is the parent generation. Okay. What is this? This is our parent generation. Okay. And this is our gametes. Now we are seeing their children, their offsprings, and their offsprings will be of the F1 generation. Now just draw a checkerboard. Checkerboard means yesterday I told you that to draw a Punnett square. Now see, I have drawn the Punnett square here. 1 cross and 2. Okay, because we have the 2 traits with 2 gametes. So we will write down, we'll make a cross. Now suppose this is female and male. Anything we can write anywhere, okay? Don't get confused at why ma'am is writing every time male here and female here. No problem. So just see, suppose this is RY and this is RY. This is small r small y, small r small y. Now there will be the cross, okay? This RY will react or it will cross with this. And after crossing, what will be the formation? This will be the formation. Capital R small r, capital Y small y. Again R, R, Y, Y. Again R, R, Y, Y. R, R, Y and Y. See how I have drawn this? This will cross with this to give this. This will cross with this to give this. This will cross with this to give this, and this will cross with this to give this. Okay. Now see the phenotype. I told you that phenotype is the physical appearance. See the phenotype. Everyone, I told you yesterday only, that is according to the law of dominance, whatever is the dominant gene, it will represent itself either in the homozygous condition or in the heterozygous condition. And recessive will not express itself in the heterozygous condition. Now this is the heterozygous because the gametes are changed, the genes are changed now. So dominant will express itself and recessive will not express itself. Now see, there is a capital R and capital Y. So definitely the seed is going to be round and yellow. This will also be round and yellow and round and yellow. So every time we will see that the seed is round and yellow. Understood? Round and yellow. So this will be the feature of the phenotype. Even the genotype is also round and yellow. Because genes are always the same, are also the same. Okay? Every time we can see capital R small r, capital Y small y. Again capital R small r, capital Y small y. Again capital R small r, capital Y same and small y, and same here also. So genotype and phenotypic ratios are same. Okay. Even we can write down it as a 4:1. 4:0, sorry. Because all 4 are the same. So we can write genotype ratio is 4:0 and phenotype ratio is also 4:0. I think so in your maths we do not consider ratio as a 0. No? We cannot compare. That's why I am not writing this. When you will go in the higher classes, you will see that it is 4:0. So leave that portion. Now you see, Genotype and phenotype, everything is same for F1 generation. Now what points we have seen? We took the two different parents. One parent was round and yellow, another was wrinkle and green. When we crossed them together, then we found that in F1 generation, there is no wrinkle and green. Every seed was round and yellow. Okay, but the gene was heterogeneous now, heterozygous. Now what will happen? We can cross them for F2 generation. Now whatever we have got in F1 generation, they will become parent for F2 generation. Definitely, yesterday only or in the previous video only I have told you that from the grandparents, our parents will be there. Now our parents will become, when they will give birth, then we will get life. Okay, in the same way. Now when our parents, they have become parent, in the same way, this is the offspring and now they will become parent for the F2 generation. So let's come to the F2 generation. Let me start. Now see, I am erasing this thing. Okay, you have to note down these things in the copy so that you cannot get confusion. Okay, and step by step process should be there. Now see what I have drawn. We got the offsprings. I am writing here what offsprings we have got. Okay, we have got the offsprings of this and this. Okay, out of many, we will take only two because we will cross them together. Understood? So this is the situation. Now it is the parent for F2 generation, or we can say that they are the offsprings of F1 generation. Now we have to prepare their gametes. Definitely the parents, they will be diploid and their sexual cells will be haploid. So we have to prepare the gametes and gametes should be haploid. Now once again, how to prepare the gametes? See, one time this R will cross with this. It is only the possibility that Mendel had thought that we can get round and yellow one gamete. Okay, next gamete, this R with this. Round and green seeds can also be possible. Then wrinkle and yellow seeds are possible and wrinkle and green seeds are possible. Okay, cross this with this with this, now this with this and this with this. Understood? The same situation will occur with this flower also, with this plant also. Suppose this is male and suppose this is female. So what it will do? It will also produce 4 type of gametes. That is RY, R small y, small r capital Y, small r small y. So this is their gametes. These are the possibilities of the gametes. Maximum number of gametes that can form by the heterozygous cross. Okay. Now again we have to draw the Punnett square because now by simple crossing we cannot show. Okay, because one is crossed with all 4, this will cross with all 4, this will cross with all 4 and this will also cross with all 4. So 4 4s are 16. We cannot show the normal cross by 16. So it's better to draw the Punnett square. Now suppose I am drawing the Punnett square like this. Okay. We make it above because I have to use down space also for you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Now here we will draw for 4. 1, 2, 3 and 1 more. Okay. Now 4 here also. 1. Okay, now just write down. Again cross. Suppose this is male, this is female. You write down. Dark pen. Write down capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. Okay, this is the male gamete. Suppose here I am drawing for female gamete. What will be? Capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, and small r, small y. Now crossing. Okay, this will cross with this. What is the result? R, Y, or it's better to write down with red so that you should not be confused that from where the things have come. Okay, understood? Now see, this will cross with this. What will be the result? R, capital Y, small y. This is with this. What it is? Capital R, small r, capital Y, and capital Y. Okay. One more. This cross with this. See. Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Understood? Now this with this. Same process. R, then R. Oh, Y is with red and Y. Okay. Once again. R, Y, Y. Once again. R. We are doing for the second now. Y, Y. Okay. Come for this. Capital R, small y, and small y. This cross with this. Now you come for fourth we have R, Y, and Y. This with this. R, then Y and Y. Okay. This cross with this. Small r, capital Y and capital Y. This with this. Small r, capital Y with black. Capital Y and small y. Now come to last. R, Y, Y. Come for this. R, then Y and Y. Fourth. Now third one. Small r, capital Y and small y. This with this. That is small r, small y and small y. Understood the cross? Okay, don't get confused, children. This is the cross. Let me make it more clear. Okay. Now see. This is the unit square. Now check the similar. What we have to see? How many plants are tall and how many plants are dwarf. Now see, we have seen that. We know that according to the law of dominance, if the gene is of dominant condition, then definitely the plant will be with a dominant character. Now suppose capital R, capital Y and capital Y. What type of seed it will be? The seed will be round and yellow. Suppose I am drawing it as round and yellow. Clear? See once again. Come to the second. Capital R. Again capital Y and small y. So out of the capital and small y, yellow color will be dominant. So again the seed is round and yellow. Same condition here also. Seed is round and yellow. Although it is heterozygous, but whatever will be the dominant gene, dominant allele, it will represent itself. So round and yellow. See. One capital R is here and one capital Y is here. So again, the seed is round and yellow. Okay. Now come to this point, this table. Again, 2 capital R and 1 capital Y. So the seed is round and yellow. See here, 2 capital R, that is round, and 2 small y, that is green. Now it is not yellow because it is homozygous. I told you if the recessive is homozygous, then it will show itself. So it is a homozygous recessive condition. Now seed is round and green. Understood? This is 1 capital R and 1 capital Y. Once again, the seed is round and yellow. 1 capital R, 1 small r and 2 small y. Homozygous recessive condition. So, round and green. Clear? Come to this. Again, round and yellow. Round and yellow. Okay? Now, see what is here? Small r. Now small r does not represent for the round, it will represent for the wrinkle, and because it is homozygous, both are small r. So homozygous condition, so the seed will be wrinkle, but the seed is wrinkle and yellow because color is yellow. Clear? Here also both are small r, so seed is wrinkle and it is yellow in color. So wrinkle and yellow. Clear? Now come to this portion. See once again round and yellow. Okay? Round and green. Clear? Wrinkle and yellow. Here it is wrinkle and green. Wrinkle and green. Okay. So, see the total overall result. What is the result? For round and yellow, we have used symbol this. Now, how many are round and yellow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So, 9 is round and yellow. Now, come to the next. This is round and green. So, what is the next situation? Round and green. How we have drawn this round and green? Like this. How many is round and green? 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Come to wrinkle and yellow. How we have represented wrinkle and yellow? By this symbol. What is the total number of wrinkle and yellow? Again 3. 1, 2 and 3. Now come to the fourth one. That is wrinkle and green. Okay, wrinkle and green we have represented by making this symbol. So how many is wrinkle and green? Only one. Understood? Only one is wrinkle and green. So what is the total ratio of phenotype? Phenotype means physical appearance. We have only seen, we have not seen how the genes are appearing, how the genes are looking. What is their genetic makeup? We have not seen that. We have only seen that if even one is capital R, we have simply designate them as a round. If only one is yellow, that is one is capital Y, we have designated them as a yellow. So on this basis we got the ratio, we got the phenotype ratio, and it is 9:3:3:1. Understood? So this is the dihybrid cross. Now what will be the genotype ratio? For taking the genotype ratio, let me see whether it is visible or not. Yes, it is visible. Okay. For the genotype ratio, what you have to do? You have to see the number of genes, similar genes. Okay, similar genes. If we will check the similar genetic makeup, then we can write down the genotype ratio. Now, I am writing the genotypic ratio and you have to find out that whether I am correct or not. Okay, your genotypic ratio will be 1:1:1:1:1, 4, then 2, then 2, and then 2. This is the best way that I have memorized them. That is 4 times 2, 4 times 1, and 1 time 4. You can count it. There will be total 16. 4, 2, 4. Okay. 6, 8, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Because it is 16 boxes. So this is the 16. This is our genotypic ratio. Now you see, we have used only one time RRRYY. This one is okay. We have got only one time RRYY. This is okay. Okay. In the same way, whatever we have got, this is the genotypic ratio. Now this is all about dihybrid cross, children. Okay. Now once again, the meaning of dihybrid cross is the crossing of the two trait. And the result will be, phenotypic result will always be 9:3:3:1, and genotypic ratio will be 1:1:1:1, then 4, then 2:2:2, 2 and 2. Okay. So this is the phenotype. Now this dihybrid cross given by the Mendel is also called as the law of independent assortment. Yesterday we have seen the law of dominance and law of segregation. I told you that monohybrid law is also called as the law of segregation because in F2 generation the traits, they will segregate themselves. The genes, they will segregate themselves. But this is also called as, dihybrid is called as the law of independent assortment. Now meaning of independent assortment, that is, although there is a intermixing in F1 generation and parent generation, okay, but in F2 generation each and every trait will represent themselves independently. Okay, see, in the parent generation, what things we have taken? We took the round and wrinkle, and then we took the yellow and green. Okay, in F1 generation, there was blending or there was mixing, and we got only round and yellow seeds. But in F2 generation, we got round seeds, we got yellow seeds, we got wrinkle seeds, and we got green seeds also. So all the seeds or all the traits, they have represented themselves independently. If round is there, then wrinkle is also available. If yellow is there, then green is also available. So this is called as law of independent assortment. Okay. Now by this we have completed all the 3 laws of Mendel that is given in the book. Now you have to revise these things and you have to make cross by yourself by taking some other character. Okay, in monohybrid only I told you that you can take the position of the flower. You can take the color of the flower. Now suppose if you take the position of the flower, then what is the position? Axial and terminal. Out of that, axial is the dominant and terminal is the recessive. And take one more character, color of the flower. Purple is the dominant and white is the recessive. Now you keep axial, capital A, purple, PP. So AA, PP together, and terminal and white, that is small a and small p together. Now then you cross them like this and see the result will always be 9:3:3:1, and this is the phenotypic result. Okay. So this is all about the dihybrid cross. Now in the next video, we will see whatever is left in the book, that is sex determination in the human beings, application of Mendel law, then sex-linked inheritance and some diseases. Okay, these 3 or 4 points are left in the chapter number 3 that we will finish within the 2 videos. Then I will again give you some exercises to solve. Okay, till then you revise these things and study hard.